Hello, fellow teachers. I'm Victoria Carlton. I'm a teacher and I'm also a trainer. I work with Jolly Phonics, Jolly Grammar, and I also run a program called STAR, which is Students at Risk. I love reading. I have a great passion for reading, whether I'm reading paper books, whether I'm reading on my iPad, whatever I'm reading. I just love it because it's my escape. And I want children to be able to also experience this as well. And I know that in the beginning, they need to read lots of decodable books, which means that most of the words that they encounter in the books, they need to be able to sound them out. Maybe not all of them, but most of the words, because that really supports their early reading development. And I've just been doing a whole lot of training. It's the beginning of term here, all right, in Western Australia. And I've been, in a few schools doing some training for Jolly Phonics and Jolly Grammar. And I've been looking at reading books and just thinking about the difference from the books that we used to use to the books that we use now, and also the different rates that children really learn as well. So something that stands out to me is that when children are learning with Jolly Phonics, they are very often, a year at least ahead with their reading, and they're accumulating, a lot more words, and their vocabulary is growing. And it's really a program that does accelerate learning, actually. And I just came across this book that I've had for a long time. It's the sort of book that I learned to read with, which is a very long time ago, right? And this book is called Tip. Okay, and I just want to read you a bit to show you how reading books have changed so much. So it starts off, tip, right? And then the next page, tip, tip, no tip, no, no. Tip, tip, here, tip, no, no tip, no, no, here, tip. Do you think the child really wants to turn the page and find out any more about tip? And yet we did. We did, and we got the practice, and we did learn to read. Here, tip, here, tip, here, here. No tip, here, tip, come here. Okay, and so it goes on, all about tip. And just when you think, oh, I can't take any more of tip, along comes Peter. And then it is, Peter, Peter, come here. Peter, Peter, is Peter here? No, Tip, Peter is not here. Not here, Tip. Come, come. Now, of course, you can see that in this book, repetition is incredibly important, and using simple words and using lots of sight words and some words that you can sound out are included in there. And these were good books. In their time, they really work. But we know so much more now about how children learn to read. And we know that if we give them lots of decodable texts, it will really support their early reading development. So I was sort of looking through reading books today and thinking about books I want to do with the children I teach this term. And I was reminded about how much I love this story called Monster Party. Now, this is written by Sarah Wernham. She's one of the Jolly Phonics writers. And you can see it's completely different, all right? Completely different. But most of these words you can actually sound out. A muddy, soggy, smelly monster comes struggling out of the pond. A silly, happy, jolly monster is doing handstands in the park. A cuddly, fluffy, sleepy monster. Will he ever get out of bed? A speedy, sporty, spotty monster runs quickly up the street. Okay, so there are all these different monsters with lots of fantastic adjectives. So this book is also good for when you're teaching adjectives in Jolly Grammar. And then we find that they're going to a monster party. Monster party, fun for all. Monsters run out from the hall. Here they are, monsters all, noisy monsters shout and call. Monster party, fun for all. That clever monster is dribbling a ball. And so it goes on until finally the monsters go to sleep. It's a story that children love. They want to read it. They want to sound out the words. They want to know what the story's about. And best of all, they like to write about monster parties and invent monsters as well. So there's a complete and utter difference between the two books. So you've got a book that children used to read and it used to work really well, and it's what we had. It was a good tool. And now we've got books like this that just make reading zing, and children can actually sound out most of the words. I would use this book probably about halfway through the year with the children that I teach. All right, halfway through the first year, 4 to 5 year olds. I also use it with older children as well. I use it with my grade 1s and my grade 2s as well. So it does make a difference, the sort of books that we give to children to help them to engage and to practice their skills. Also, it's important that they don't just have fiction, that they have some non-fiction as well. And I'm so pleased to see that we've got these stage 4 readers that have come out from Jolly Phonics as well now. You know, a lot of children love to read non-fiction text. You know, when it is raining and sunny at the same time, the sunlight shines in the raindrops and a rainbow is made in the sky. We forget that children need to practice this sounding out for quite a long time. So these books have really filled a gap, a really big gap, and I'm finding them incredibly helpful for the children that I work with. So have a look on the Jolly Learning website at the different books that are available, and make sure that you do provide lots of decodable books for children at the beginning of their reading journey. It is really essential. Thank you, and I hope you have a fantastic teaching day. Okay, bye.
For more of Victoria Carlton's tips, go to YouTube and search Victoria Carlton Programs. Victoria's products are available on Teachers Pay Teachers. They cover literacy, emotional intelligence, and Sunday school lessons. Victoria's website address, blog, and email address are on the screen in front of you. Victoria Carlton reserves the right of copyright on all her products.